Yeah, it's a fantastic and brilliant chance to come together with all the ports worldwide. We started this Smart Ports Conference here in Barcelona 2019, and it's became a tradition to collaborate here, to exchange knowledge, not to invent the wheel twice. And as many people recognize here when we come together is that, for example, Port of Barcelona, Port of Hamburg, we are no competitors. We can exchange our solutions, we can adopt our solutions. We have a blueprint how to implement onshore power supply for cruise vessels, and it's easy to adopt for Barcelona a solution from Hamburg and the other way around. And we see that here, that's very fruitful with all the other ports worldwide.
I believe the building of relationships is the most important. I've met a lot of people which are interested to learn more about the marine and the shipping business, and also to be able to see a lot of new technologies and new ways of handling technologies in other areas.
The takeaways I want to take from the Smart Ports of the Future. Well, I'm working in the Pioneers Consortium, which is a European project, and I'm really looking outside of the port ecosystem to look for novelties, and not just technological innovations, but also like what are new ways of thinking, new ways of organizing. So I feel I need to get outside of that ecosystem. In the ports where everything is about electricity or electrification or hydrogen, and I need to go outside of that ecosystem to really grasp new things, and that's why I'm here for in Barcelona.
I think the ports can work together on creative ideas and networking with other ports and learning ideas of how we can improve efficiencies and meet some of the initiatives that each of our cities have to clean the environment, work on blue economy, as well as green technology. So collaboration and basically networking with folks and learning new technologies that are out there.
I think it is great to have always every year to have a representative of some of the biggest and most advanced ports in the world here in Barcelona, and the attendance, I think, listening to the experience on digitalization, on decarbonization, on how the ports are responding to the changing environment of the international economies with rising tensions, both politically, logistically. It's going to be very important for the people that attend here to hear the different experiences from America, from Asia, from Europe, on how the ports are reacting to all these challenges that we all face since we left the pandemic, let's say, in 2023.
Okay, first of all, thank you for inviting me to the Smart Port Piers of the Future. I think it's a great platform for exchange of best practices and hearing a lot of initiatives that are taking place from both the tech company as well as other port authorities. I think it's a key takeaway for me, because I think we all have a common challenge, trying to reach the net zero by 2050 as per IMO goal. So there are really many pathways to achieve that, and I think this provides a great platform for exchanges. Yeah, thanks.
I think they should get that the ports are moving forward and always have been active in making a difference and making change for the industry, but not only for the industry but also for the citizens, for the community. So we've always been taking some action towards that. So it's very important to keep in mind that port-city relationships, for example, are crucial, are key elements for us as well, to be in an environment where everything grows naturally and we have a lesser impact on our activities. So I think they have to keep that in mind, I think, from us.
Well, actually now, okay, all all the industry is now evolving very rapidly. Really, technology, digitalization, and also for decarbonization and sustainability, innovation. So this is a really great platform to share what's going on in each the global ports. And this is also a great venue to learn even the best practice from the other ports. So that is a very good opportunity to join here.
I think in general the port community globally is very small. It's a community that's very open, willing to share, and this creates the mechanism for ports to come together and talk about challenges that each port's facing, but in doing so recognise that there's a lot of similarities and connections between those challenges as well. So for me, these events are about relationships, understanding the different nuances about ports, how they operate, and ways in which we can actually together start to talk about these challenges and work through solutions more collectively.
I think mostly is that the ports, we are completely aligned and working on smart things in general. First, because it's our business, it's necessary to be smart, to connect vessels, to connect the cargo, to connect the stakeholders, so it's a must, it is. But now we are in a new moment that where smart things, another thing that we never thought about mobility, about air quality, water quality. So we are completely on the first step, the first moment of the kind of things, no? And smart ports it's completely a tool that we need to manage much better our ports and much better our relation with the citizens, with our clients, and with our city stakeholders. So I think this is very necessary because you can get a lot of ideas coming from all other activities, cities, but companies, but you can transport and use it in our port. And the opposite. Also, we are in many things we are more advanced than, for example, other kind of business, so they can learn from us. So I think it's a place to learn each other.
I think we need to start working together. The ports are at the heart of the innovation nowadays. When we think about ports, we need to think about an ecosystem that combines different technologies and includes different actors. We have trade, commerce, and transportation, all of them working together, and it's up to us to create innovation with a combination of those technologies. The port now, every port in every city is now a hub that will allow the future technologies to rise.
So I think one of the nice idea is to understand that ports become a hub of innovation that must take a bigger place in the cities, no? And the other one is that innovating with ports or the activities of the port are not only linked to moving cargo or moving passengers, they must also be related with biodiversity, energy transition, and many other areas that are linked with the port activities and that might have a bigger expression also out of the port. So ports in this moment are becoming one of the big innovation hubs in the cities that can be taken into account to orient the innovation. And blue economy is in the next years will take a very big space when we are talking about economy and innovation as well.
Well, it's my first time in Barcelona in the Smart Ports. For me, it was a fantastic event. One of the best events for ports that I ever joined. And I think that the takeaways, the first one is the positive vibe around I think that a very good group of ports that want to innovate and want to go beyond. Normally we say, every port is different, and then that's an excuse for not collaborating, but actually you can feel here the collaboration, the willingness of tackle the common ground, things like decarbonization or sustainability, right? So that's very positive, and I think for me, it's the main takeaway. So there is a group of ports that are joining together to actively collaborate and to help solve some of the relevant problems we have. The second one is that I think you see all these ports having innovation hubs and having, I would say, a mindset that is, we will fail, but we will be learning very fast. And that's the way forward, right? And that's very positive because we, the solution providers, we need the ports to embrace innovation
and to be aware that we will fail and learn, and then that is the only way that we will progress, right? So in short, I think technology is an stage that can help us with digital twin, AI, you name it, but to go beyond with collaboration and innovation is key, and this event was an example of that.
Brilliant, thank you very much for that.
I believe that ports are a center of innovation, and we developed a lot of solutions with the new computing technology like quantum annealing, that's a very fast computing technology. We increased our traffic flow through the port by around 20%. That means if you have a crossroad with 10,000 trucks, you can pass through another 2,000 without constructing a new road. And when you look at cities like Hamburg and Barcelona, you see the same challenge, traffic jams and so on. So we can adopt this kind of solutions directly to the city centers, to the traffic light management. But this is just one example. You know, ports and cities can really take profit out of the innovation which were developed in the ports, but also the other way around.
We have already implemented onshore power, and is having a progressive plan to do that for more areas in the port. And we're also working with the digital port call optimization, which is reducing fuel because of just-in-time arrival, and it can reduce speed. So I think that would be quite a good both for the cost for the shipping lines and also for the environment.
Well, it's a lot about automation. We have our terminal operations in the port where it's very manual. So we're really looking into automating that, but also traffic management of the ships. It's also very very manual thing to do. So we need to also embrace artificial intelligence to identify ships and ship movements, to be able to also steer that, to optimize the traffic movements, to optimize lock planning and so on. So that's really the fields where we need to embrace digitalization.
Yeah, and I think we're kind of the trailblazers as far as coming up with ideas of how we can be innovative and sharing that with other ports. We've signed a number of MOUs with other port entities to talk about how we can collaborate on environmental, on digitization, as well as transportation sustainability issues. So a lot of things that we've worked together with other ports, signing memorandums of understanding, also with our chain port activities, working with the 14 other ports that are part of our chain port, and discussing new ideas and how we can improve everything in our ecosystem.
This is still very recent. I mean, this was launched not even 1 year ago, I think. So we don't see yet the results exactly. But what we hope to achieve with this is to transform a little bit the ecosystem of our port. This is a port very diversified, innovative in certain sectors, but we want to increase this when it comes to blue economy. Okay, we are well known as an innovative city and port in logistics, in lots of sectors. But blue economy, I think, is one of the sectors where we have more potential, and we haven't been still now so successful in attracting talent, in attracting startups, companies. So I think this is going to transform a little bit the ecosystem in the port, in the city, and orient some people, companies towards blue economy, which should be one of the driving forces of the transformation of the port in the coming years.
For Port of Singapore, we are looking at technologies in a few areas. First is we are trying to use technology to probably make the shipping, the transport more intelligent. For example, helping the industry to choose the most efficient route, and that will lead to less carbon footprint. The other initiative we are working on is just in time, which turn around the ships when a ship comes to the Port of Singapore, the services that they need, how we can optimize their scheduling of services and their stay in the Port of Singapore, so that they have less waiting time and they can turn around faster, so they burn less fuel in the Port of Singapore. The other thing is probably looking at technology to make the industry more aware about the carbon awareness, carbon accounting, and eventually reduce the carbon footprint. So these are how technology can help the industries. Yeah. Thanks.
I think from the last years we got used to handling more and more data. So we got introduced to artificial intelligence in the last years, and from these years we learned that we can improve from there, and grow and correlate that information for a more sustainable future. So I think the focus in the coming years will be to align this decision making with sustainability. So that means taking the information that's coming in and making it socially acceptable and also environmentally so accessible and accepted by the operations, by the society, and also that the bottom line will make sense for the ports and for the industry as well.
Well, actually, the port and city, that is, under the name of, the coexistence, really. And Busan is also the same. We are now, doing the port redevelopment project. So in that part, okay, the support and coordination and cooperation with the city government is very essential. Therefore, okay, for the, the mutual prosperity and the success, the coexistence and cooperation with the city government is very important for Busan.
Look, not so much challenges, it's really about setting context and having clarity on and alignment on objectives. Obviously government and cities in general have their own objectives and targets and requirements, but equally ports. So it's about understanding both sides and trying to find that spot in the middle where there's that level of understanding about again, what's driving the economy and what's driving the agendas of the city, and how ports can actually be an enabler for that. So I think it's about, from the port's point of view, being able to tell the story about the port and for actually to give cities a level of understanding about the value that the ports actually contribute to society, the broader society as well. So in terms of your question about challenges, look, it's not so much challenges, it's about really setting the scene and having open, consistent and transparent conversations about exactly that. What are the competing priorities and how together we can actually, ports and cities, overcome them.
Yes, in our country it's completely necessary to have a very constant dialogue with the city. It's completely necessary. We have a lot of dialogue, but of course there is a moment, there are challenges that are key. The moment to transform the territory, or the uses, space, that it means a lot of different concepts or topics that you have to speak about environment, mobility, uses and more. So this is, I think it's the big challenge of the cities and the ports, because it's not a thing of the port, it's also a thing of the city. We are both involved, we are not together, we are not speaking the same things, we are not trying to give a commitment, it's impossible to go forward. So it's completely our, it should be one of the most important duties in our responsibilities, and in our case in Barcelona we have a constant In fact, we have nearly 10 urban plans approved with the city, so it means that we have worked together a lot. We have worked with details and discussing and many things, but at the end we get an agreement, and that agreement allows us to do a big project. And that's why I think it's really important, and always is a challenge, as the question, but it's a big challenge. We have to take it as an important thing.
Optimization of operations, environmental assessment of the cities, of the ports, many different applications. Every element that now consists a port could be improved by the use of AI. Just think of the ships that can analyze the data that they're getting from the movement and optimize the routes. Think of the logistical aspects of the ports. All of them could be improved and transformed by the use of AI.
So when we are talking about digital transformation and deep tech innovation, there are several drivers, and most of them are associated with these new technologies, cutting-edge technologies that most of them are related with getting better data, recording better in a more safety way all this data, processing the data in a quicker way or in a more important way, and so we are talking about IoT, 5G, high performance computing and cloud technologies and all these sort of things. But the single one that is getting this data and extracting added value from it is artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is playing the role to disclose complexity. So we are managing many complex processes inside the ports. I mean, the port is a very complex ecosystem, and the single one that is able to look inside through the data and through the formalization of the knowledge and extracting what is really happening, which are the patterns, what is going well, what is going bad, how we can improve, and what's the right thing to do is artificial intelligence.
I think that, with AI, we had the risk of throwing AI solutions to the user and see what he or she do with that, right? My sentence was more for my automation background, so I participated in more than 25 projects worldwide. An automation project is different in every region, in every country, because the cultural part. But actually, what I learned in the last 15 years is that the more automation you incorporate in your terminal, in your port, the more you are reliant on the human brain. That means, of course, that you need different profiles, you need different qualifications, but the human, we are here to stay, of course, and we will need to collaborate not only with automation, but also with AI. And for the AI in particular, what I emphasize is that it has to be inclusive. So I think that we don't know enough the user to realize how he or she will use AI. That's a fundamental analysis on how the people work today and how the people will work tomorrow, right? So it's a change management, what it's all about. But I think AI is coming here to help us. It's not a threat. That's something important to emphasize. And I think that, again, the more AI we will have, the more reliant we have to be in the human brain.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. That was super. Thanks very much for that.